Well, howdy, folks. Welcome to our Sunday racing recording at 7 a.m. in the morning due to the load shedding. And good morning to you. Racing today is down in Pietermaritzburg at Scottsville. We have 9 races carded, and we've got the Ghost Rider selections. I've intertwined my selections into the Ghost Riders today, certainly for the first half of the card. And looking forward to a good day's racing. The track condition is expected to be good on both the straight and the turn course. The penetrometers are 22 on the straight and around the turn 23, so track conditions are good, and it's expected to be sunny today as well. Just 4 millimeters of irrigation on the track, no rainfall, and the false rails out 7.5 meters. Obviously, Warren Kennedy was stood down yesterday afternoon at Turfentine, as was Samanga Kamala. Well, I don't think Samanga was carded to ride today, so we're wishing them a speedy recovery, both of them. But Warren Kennedy won't be riding today, and he'll be replaced on his mounts, and most of them of which we don't have replacements for. In fact, I don't think we've got any replacements for Kennedy just yet, but maybe those might filter through during the course of the morning. So do check up if you do like a horse that's ridden by Warren Kennedy today for any changes. Right, let's go through the card. We start off in race 1, where number 8, Duchess of Gold, is a scratching, and we're awaiting the rider for number 3, Grandi Arechi. No rider yet. Race 1 today will jump off pretty early at 11:55. The Ghost Rider selects number 2 to win it here, that being Feeling Groovy, ahead of number 10, Bright Star, third to number 4, which is Roy's Tease, and fourth to number 13, Such a Cracker. I am in slight disagreement, hence why I've disagreed with the Ghost Rider in terms of making number 2 a good bet today, number 2 being Feeling Groovy. I just feel that number 10, Bright Star, with the booking of Mozi Yeni, who rides very well for Nate Kotson Jr., might just give Feeling Groovy a little bit to think about today in that first race over a mile. I have always liked Feeling Groovy as a horse. I just think that number 10 is capable of some further improvement, being by Gold Standard, who, as we know, ran a place in the, at that stage, I think it was still called the J&B Met, or the Sun Met, that horse, Gold Standard. So Bright Star, I'm thinking, might give Feeling Groovy a bit to think about. So we make that a 2-horse race between 2 and 10, but the Ghost Rider likes number 2. I like number 10. I think one of those will win it, but the value is certainly with number 10, Bright Star. Let's move on to race 2, which is the opening leg of the Bipot at 12:25. It's a maiden juvenile plate to be run over 1,400 meters. Here, number 1, Political Party, is without a rider. It's a big runner that I'm surprised to see the price. It's 8 or 8.5 to 1. The Ghost Rider tips number 2, Wiccan Warrior, ahead of number 1, Political Party. But I think that those 2 represent the horses to beat in the second race. Number 9 is tipped to run third, Fleet Commander. And then number 6, Mike de Kock's Equestrian Affair, who I think is better than his last run. I still think that numbers 2 and 1 will fight it out. The value has to be with number 1, Political Party. We just don't know who's riding it yet at this early stage of a Sunday morning. But again, on that last run and the previous run, that is a big price on Political Party, 8.5 to 1 when I looked this morning. Moving on to the third race, start of the place accumulated at 1 o'clock. It's a maiden plate up the straight, 1,200 meters. Changes in the third race. Scratch number 15, Seattle Greenlight. Number 17 comes into the race now. Virtual Image will be drawn out at 15. No rider yet for number 17, Virtual Image, in the third race. Well, the selection here is number 12, Gimmy's Laddie, who I agree with wholeheartedly. Short price now, opened up a fairly big price actually, but has come in to being odds on or trading close to even money. But I think that he'll go close to winning Gimmy's Laddie from the Dean Canema stable to beat the newcomer number 10, Black Cherry. Son of Rafif for Mike de Kock. Third, number 14, American Dream, having his debut run as a gelding. And fourth, number 16, Lazy Guy. There is one other I want to add in here, and that is Paul Matchett's gelding, number 3, Forgotten Time. The blinkers go back on, and Kelvin Habib rides from an inside draw. I think he's better up the straight. I think his last a couple of runs were around the bend. I think he's a different prospect up the straight. And don't leave out number 3, Forgotten Time, in your bets in the third race. He's a huge price too for Paul Matchett. Moving on to race 4, the start of the pick 6 at 13:35. It's a maiden plate over 1,000 meters. In race 4, number 5, United Prince. We're awaiting a jockey for that, and that's obviously one of the principal runners here in the 4th race. Just taking a look at the Ghost Rider, he's tipping number 3, Winter Pearl, to beat number 5, United Prince. I think it is a race in 2, but just the word coming out of the de Kock stable is that this horse, after suffering an injury and having an operation, is back to best. And the indications are that Winter Pearl is the horse to beat. I make it between those two, and likewise so does the Ghost Rider. He's tipped 3 from 5, United Prince, who tries a set of blinkers today to sharpen him up. And he's a definite contender. Third goes to number 8, Vian's Grey, and fourth, number 7, in Darker. But 3 and 5 are really well clear of the opposition in race 4. Race 5 is 2's off time. It's a maiden plate over 2,400 meters. And this is not a nice race. Scratches number 2, Brave Voyager. And that's the change in this one. I don't like this race whatsoever. The Ghost Rider is going for number 5, Take to War, who last time out ran over 1,200 meters and now tries double the distance. I'm very wary of this one, this whole race, in fact. I've added into the selections something that the Ghost Rider didn't have, and that's my choice, number 7, Bell's First Wave. I think he may be looking for a trip, and he comes in with Gabriel Peterson on, who won a race yesterday afternoon at Turfentine. Number 9, Special Charm. I'm not convinced we'll see out the trip of 2,400 meters. And then number 3, Sexy Shiraz, who there's little to choose on between numbers 3 and 4, Sexy Shiraz and La Dreamer. Both of those have very, very similar form. So this race, I'd say to you to load up. It has a recipe for disaster. And for that reason, I've added number 7, Bell's First Wave, to the selections there of the Ghost Rider, who didn't tip that in the first 4. On we move to race 6 at 20-3. It's a merit-rated 72 handicap over 2,400 meters. Race 6 scratched on numbers 1, Secret Giver, and 9, Deep Global. That will now bring number 14, Exceeder, into the race, and this will now be drawn at 1. Importantly, Exceeder drawn at 1, Keegan DeMello to ride that one. I think that has to have a chance. First run for the stable. But the selections, courtesy of the Ghost Rider, are number 4, Twice Golden, from the Garth Puller stable, to beat the Paul Peter 3, Atomic Blonde. Third to number 12, that is In the Summertime, and fourth to number 14, Exceeder. And I think all of those warrant respect in race number 6. Then we move on to race 7 at 3:15. Fillies and Mares 94 handicap over 1,000 meters. Scratched here are 7, Slalom Queen, and number 9, Mubira. So note that the latest changes, scratched race 7, are 7 and 9. And those are the changes in race 7. The selection is number 8, Good Queen Bess, from the de Kock stable. Again, she looks to win here. She came back to a sprint last time out and won, and she won pretty well. And even though she's dropping further in trip, she certainly will give it her best. And I think that she will go very close. But I do have healthy respect for the Ghost Rider second choice, number 1, Keep the Lights On. Again, Gabriel Peterson rides from a 1 draw, comes in with 58.5 kilos, and I think is extremely generously priced here at 7 or 8 to 1. Number 1, Keep the Lights On. I think it'll go close to Good Queen Bess. And for that reason, both of them I like strongly here. Third goes to number 12. That is Lady Catherine. And fourth to number 3, Vivid Jet. 8, 1, 12, and 3. Sound chances to both 1 and 8 in race 7. But obviously the 8 is a lot shorter than number 1 at even money. Number 1 being 7 to 1. But I think they'll both have good chances of going close there. Then we move on to race number 8. Races 8 and 9 I haven't looked at at all, so we're reliant on the Ghost Rider to come through here. Race 8 off at 10 to 4 is a merit-rated 77 handicap over 1,000 meters. Changes in race 8. We've got no jockey changes, but just number 7, Happy Wanderer, Alamites in front and Unshod behind. The selection is number 5, Blaze of Silk, which is actually the value bet for the day today, Blaze of Silk. Richard Ferree for Corinne Bestel. Second to 2, Sir Pom. Third goes to number 13, Iron Tail. And fourth to number 4, which is 2 of Us. Now, I've just seen something actually. Iron Tail, last time out. Wow. I don't know what happened last time out. We went for this as a value bet last time out, Iron Tail. And it ran 5th to Lord Wiley. But the whole way throughout the race, started from a draw of 2, ended up a draw of probably 15 in the race. And I'm interested to see how that goes today. If I'm right in saying this horse last time out wasn't shown the right way home. And I think the number 13, Iron Tail, just based on that last run, will have a good enough chance today. So I'm interested to know how they're betting here. Just going to that betting. Blaze of Silk is 6 to 1. And Iron Tail is 8 to 1. Both of them deserve to be chucked in. Then we move on to the 9th and last race of the day at 25 past 4. It's a fillies and mares 76 handicap over 1,200 meters. Here you can scratch number 15, Jack's Bird. Jack's Bird is out of the 9th race. Number 10, Lazuli, awaiting a rider. And the rider on number 17, Fateful Mistress, who comes into a draw of 15, is apprentice Cole Dickon, claiming 1.5. Compression mask on the 11, Magic in Motion. And number 13, Gardenia, Alamites in front, Unshot behind. Selection is number 6 to win it. 6 being Indigo Fields for Lorenzo Karim and Richard Ferree again. That's tipped to beat home number 1, Diamond Girl. Third to number 8, Ride the Lightning. And fourth, number 9, Ethiopian Queen, the 9th and last race of the day. So very interesting day of racing out at Scottsville. We like the card, and we think you can follow our selection. Stand by for the all-important place accumulator, and then I'll give you a few value bets to get involved in today. So it's quite a hefty place accumulator that we're taking today. It's 648 Rand. Certainly going short in the first couple of legs and then going pretty wide for the rest of the day. But let's run through it. It obviously, being a 9-race program, we'll start off in race 3 today. Race 3 jumps at 1 o'clock. So you've got all the way up until 1 o'clock to take your perms. By the way, guys, today, using the Tab app, and I'll circulate this on our Twitter and my Instagram feed during the course of the morning. We've got some selected bets for you to take today on both those feeds, and both the Ghost Rider and I will be working out some bets for you to take today, and I think that I'll also post them up on our YouTube channel, so stand by for those, which come up later on this morning. But here's the PA if you're taking it. The first leg, we're bankering number 12 in the first leg, that being Gimmy's Laddie, which should win. 3 and 5 in the second leg. Both of those have chances, Winter Pearl and United Prince. Then 5, 7, and 9. That's where I've added in Bell's First Wave to take to win Special Charm. I don't like that leg at all, but we've stuck it to 3 runners there. Then the first 4 selections in the next race: 3 Atomic Blonde, 4 Twice Golden, 12 In the Summertime, and 14 Exceeder. The next leg, 1, 8, and 12. Keep the Lights On, Good Queen Bess and Lady Catherine. You may just want to keep that to 1 and 8 to cut the cost down. Then 2, 5, and 13, Sir Pom, Blades of Silk, and Iron Tail, and 1, 6, and 8, Diamond Girl, Indigo Fields, and Ride the Lightning. Now, the value bet for the day with the Ghost Rider selections is race 8, number 5, Blaze of Silk, who's 6 to 1. I'm just going to add in 2 from my perspective. In race 1, in race 2, number 1, Political Party, I think is a big price. I'm not sure who's riding it yet, but I see it's 8 to 1 or 10 to 1 in places, Political Party. I think that is a value bet. And then I also want to say to you a bit later on, Keep the Lights On in race 7, number 1, is a nice price of 7 to 1 too. So maybe put those on your short list to include today. That's a look at our racing today, and we hope that you play well. Don't forget, we'll be loading up those bets on the Tab app. I'll put them in under my name for the moment, but I'll also share them on all our social media platforms. So watch out for those filtering through during the course of the morning. Thanks for joining us. Been a pleasure being with you. Enjoy your Sunday racing. Don't forget, more Monday racing at Grayville on Monday. The Ghost Rider will be back in action then. Thanks for joining us, and cheers for now.